Okay, today we're going to talk about systems of inequalities in two variables. And in case you're not awake, that red will sure wake you up. All right, so here are the steps. First, just like with one inequality, you write each one in slope-intercept form, and then you determine whether the line should be solid or dashed based on the inequality symbol. You graph it. You determine where to shade using a test point. Same thing as we did in 4.4, but here's the difference. You shade a section of where the two graphs overlap. Some people erase the section where they don't overlap. I just highlight all of it, and I'll show you with our first example. Okay, so our first step is going to be to write these in slope-intercept form. Remember, this is just a reminder that if you have to divide by a negative number, you have to flip the sign the opposite direction. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. So the first one is 2x plus y is less than or equal to 3. So we're going to write that in slope-intercept form. We're going to subtract 2x from either side. So we have y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 3. Let's work on the other one while we're here doing this. 2y minus 6 is greater than 6x. I'm going to add 6 to each side. So I have 2y is greater than 6x plus 6. I'm going to divide each side by 2, so I have y is greater than 3x plus 3. I'm going to use a different color to graph. So I'm going to go ahead and graph them. This first one, I'm going to use a solid line. So I'm going to start at positive 3. My slope is negative 2. Solid line. Important to try to keep it straight. Ruler's a good idea. I'm going to graph this one. Well, let's go ahead and shade. Okay, so I'm going to use, I can use 0, 0 here. So I'm going to plug it. It doesn't matter if you do the original or the one you moved around. So I have 2 times 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 3. I use the original. So I have 0 is less than or equal to 3. And it is. So we're going to go ahead and shade in. I'm going to stop the video while I'm shading in so we don't waste all that time. So I'm going to shade this first. So now let's go ahead and graph the other one. So this one starts at 3, and the slope is positive 3. So I'm going to go up 3 over 1. This time, the line's going to be dashed. Okay? So I'm going to use that same test point, and I'm going to plug it into the original. So I have 2 times 0 minus 6 is greater than 6 times 0. So I end up with negative 6, is greater than 0. Is it? No. So we need to color the opposite side of the test point. So I'm going to color let's use light green. I'm going to color the side to the left because it's opposite of the test point. So let me just show you with a pen the overlapping sections of this. So let's use this pen. So these sections right here, right in this area, are overlapping. This means that all the points in that section with the lines on it will be a solution to both of those. So that includes anything on the solid line, but only up to the dashed line. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, these are already in slope-intercept form, so let's go ahead and graph. So we're going to start at negative 1, slope is 2. So the dashed line, whoa, crazy. Okay, so I'm going to stop it so I can, again, I can use my favorite test point. So if I plug that in, I have 0 is less than -1, which it isn't. So I'm going to color the side opposite of the test point. And when I color it in, I'm going to stop the video. Alrighty, there you go. So let's graph the next one. So this one starts at 2, and my slope is 1/3. So up 1 over 3. This one is solid. Okay, so I can still use my 0, 0 as the test point. So I have 1, or let's say 0 is greater than or equal to 1/3 times 0 plus 2. So 0 is greater than or equal to 2, which it's not. So I'm going to color the side opposite of the test point. Here's the test point. We're going to color up here. So I'm going to stop while I color it in. Okay, so this, let me get a better color ink. This is overlapping right there. That's our overlapping piece, that little kind of kite-shaped piece. All right. This next one, we have 3 we have to graph. Okay, so let's graph y equals -3x. So it starts at 0. Well, there goes my 0, 0 test point, but that's all right. So down 3 over 1. And this is dashed. So I'm going to use 1, 1 as a test point this time. So 1 is greater than -3 times 1. Is 1 greater than -3? Yes, it is. So we're going to color the side with the test point. I'll stop and do that. Right, 1 down, 2 to go. Let's do the next one. Get my pen back here. So I'm going to start at -1, and my slope is 2. So I have 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. That's also dashed. All right, I can use my 0, 0 here. So I have 0 is less than 2 times 0 minus 1. So is 0 less than -1? No, it's not. So I'm going to color the side opposite of the test point, which is over here. So give me a chance to color, and I'll be back and show you what I did. All right, here's what we have. So let's go back to the pen. Let's graph the last one. So I have x is greater than -4. So I'm going to count over on to -4 on the x, and then I'm going to graph that. I guess we could use our test point 0, 0. Is 0 greater than -4? Yes, it is. So we're going to color to the right of it. All right, so our overlapping section is right there. So that means numbers in there will make all 3 of those work. All right, we have one last thing to do. So we're going to get a system, and we have to figure out what the inequalities are that go with it. So first, here's what I do. I put the equation in, but I leave the sign out. So this equation is y is less than or greater than 6. Okay? So all the numbers are obviously less than. The line is solid, so that's less than or equal to. So this one starts at 5, and then the slope is down 3 over 2. So I have y, and then I have negative 3 halves x plus 5. Okay? So when I determine my signs, I'm going to take my test point, right? I'm going to plug it in. 0, and I have some sign in here, and 0. So what is 0's relationship to 5? Well, it's less than or equal to if the side with the test point is colored. So it's going to be less than or equal to. So there are my systems. We have one more. So let's look at this one. Let's get the two equations. So this one starts at 0, so it has no y-intercept, and my slope is up 2 over 1, so I have 2x. Okay, I'm going to use 1, 1, so I have 1, some relationship to 2 times 1, so 1 is less than or equal to 2x, so this is less than or equal to. Okay, so now let's get the other one. So my y-intercept is negative 3, and my slope, 1, 2, 3 over 1 is negative 3x. So now we have to figure out the sign. So we can plug in 0, 0 again. So what's the relationship between 0 and negative 3? Well, it's greater than or equal to. So there's my sign. And there's my system. That's it.